Then may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
And we're back, everybody. Thank you for holding on. We got Maya getting ready to join us. Let me see if I can get her here to the stage. Uh, Maya, are you there? Can you hear
I'm
me?
here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I don't see you, though, unfortunately.
Okay, wait a second. So maybe I screwed something up in setting up, which is
Not unusual.
not unusual. Hold on, because this was it asked me about I was afraid that if I put the camera on that
No, turn your camera on. Yeah. Oh, you just lost our connection. Okay. Well, hopefully she'll be back. Um,
oh,
there you go. I don't see. I still don't see a picture. We lost you for. Oh, I keep losing her. Um, this is the fun part of being live. Um, but anyway, I'm while we're doing this, I'm going to put up um, our. There we go. This is from our production of ZAGLADA. There we go. Let's add her to the stage. And hey, Maya, if we can't, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Great. Yep.
Wait a second. This is ridiculous.
Oh well, that's okay.
No, it's not.
I would love to see you though. It's been so long since I've seen you. But we've got some. I've got some slides going on right now uh, on the screen. So hopefully people are at least seeing that. And there you are right there. And we lost her again. But anyway, let me tell you a little bit about it. And also, by the way, at 12 o'clock, Richard Vatier, who is the playwright who wrote Zaglada, will be joining us at 12 noon to discuss things. And so, looking forward to having a chat with him. And hopefully, we get Maya back here. Apparently, she's having some kind of technical difficulty. But while I'm dealing with this, remember the whole reason we're doing this is to uh, this is our version of Giving Tuesday here at Ensemble Stage. So if you are so inclined, please consider giving Ensemble Stage a donation, and you go right there to that spot there that's at the bottom of the screen, ensemblestage.ludus.com/donate, and you can go right there and directly put in your donation. And here, probably in another segment or two, we will be there we go, Maya back. Still no picture, but that's fine. Um,
Mhm.
but
All right.
anyway, yeah, that's fine. But see, there you are. We see you there anyway. So
It says here that you're in, so everyone can see and hear you. So
well,
I do
well,
figure
there
it
you
out.
go. Yeah, no.
Hi,
But
Gary. I can't
hi.
believe that this is the first way that I'm seeing you. Um,
Yeah, but thanks so much for doing this for us. For me, I appreciate it, and doing it for us. It was uh, trying to put this thing together was a bit of hectic. Uh, uh, it was very hectic trying to put it together, especially since um, um, I've never done anything like this. So it's all kind of been trial and error for me as well. But anyway, since how we got you here, I wanted to talk a little bit about Zaglada and your experience there, and the whole process there. Now, one thing I will tell people is our our uh, our rehearsals started off with quite the bang because we had COVID infect the infect the actors, and so we had to shut down rehearsal for a week, and then so we had to catch everything up in a very short amount of time and get it ready for being on stage. And it was amazing the way you guys pulled through and got it together and put on such a wonderful show. Oh, I lost you again. All right. And here I had a segue and everything for you, Maya, to talk about this, but and now we're having trouble getting you loaded at all. Um, so hopefully we'll be able to get you loaded. Um, but anyway, it's as I was saying, and hopefully we get Maya back. Of what I was saying was that first part of the rehearsal was quite epic by having to not have rehearsal for a week because of COVID. And then, but at least they got to stay in nice housing up there on Beach Mountain, and they got to see bears in the wild and everything like that. But then we had that first um, rehearsal after a week of not being able to rehearse. Had that first rehearsal, and it was amazing how far along everybody was at that point. And it was the we had the people or the actors were for a big part, a big chunk of them, or at least they had big chunks of the script already memorized. And looks like Maya, are you back with us now?
I'm back. Can you hear me?
I can absolutely hear you.
Okay, but you can't see me.
I cannot see you, but that's fine. Don't worry
All
about
right.
it.
Okay.
As long as I can hear
stole
your
my
voice.
whole story.
Yeah, I was trying to fill that void there, but
Yeah.
it was pretty amazing. Tell me what was. Let me know where your head was when we hit that. The first day of rehearsal and said, "Wah wah." All right, no rehearsal for a week because we have COVID in the cast.
Well, first of all, I was kind of terrified and nervous right from the beginning because being in a place that with artists that I didn't know and really wanted to working on a project that is kind of a dream project.
Sure.
I was nervous and scared and all of those things. And I had taken some time, I heard you say, to memorize the text before I got there, but that never works completely because the
No,
moment
it
you're in
doesn't.
the room
Yeah,
with
yeah,
people, it's
yeah.
like a whole other thing.
It's now.
So,
Let me ask you this: is your process like mine, where mine was always like I'd memorize it basically 4 different times. I'd memorize it before I started rehearsal. Then I get to rehearsal and sound like I hadn't even opened a book, and so I memorize it again. And then I get on my feet and I have to memorize it again. And then after everything's all set and blocking, then I basically have to memorize it again.
well, I kind of memorized throughout the entire process
Well, yeah,
and
yeah.
do speed throughs every single day
Mm-hmm.
till closing
Mm-hmm. Yep.
for
That's
myself.
it's so funny how every actor has their own method. I did the exact same thing. I every day before, usually about an hour and a half before I had to be, or 2 hours before I had to be at the theater, I'd go over the whole play. And
Yeah.
so
But,
yeah, no,
kind of circling back to really what has happened in the last few weeks in on the mountain and
hmm,
near the theater,
yep,
and then COVID, right?
yep,
So that period where we were told, right, well, we were going to have to put rehearsals off for a week.
yeah,
So basically, what I did every day for hours was walk up and down Beach Mountain, in and out, um, places I didn't know. Sometimes I used the GPS. Sometimes I got lost. Sometimes they were roads. Sometimes there were the parks. There were the rivers, and I memorized the entire play
yeah.
walking up and down the mountain.
Ah, that's cool.
And so, like, looking at those photographs that you posted ahead of time
Yeah.
was to me heartbreaking and shocking. Um,
Mm. In what way? What do you mean?
well, Because in walking through those places that are so concretely natural in nature and untouchable, unmovable, right? To the
Right.
human, even imagination. Like you think, oh, you could move mountains. Well, that's bullshit. You can't,
Right.
right?
Right. No,
You
you're right.
know, and then sitting in a stream and having a snake crawl up me and scare the crap out of me.
I had no idea that happened.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't sit in the stream again because I wanted to get underwater, right? You know?
Oh, that's so
Um,
funny.
and then seeing the roads, the trees, the buildings, buildings are man made.
Hmm.
And watching on the TV screen and thinking, oh my God, there's nothing that a human being can do to stop this happening.
Yeah. Yeah. It was quite an event. And the amazing thing is uh, uh, and I'm still doing it as I drive around and I see go down roads that I hadn't been on, and I see the size. I mean, it's not just little rocks. There's boulders that have been moved by that water, and it basically in one section it redirected the river. The river now
Right.
runs in a different direction, or not in a different direction, but it takes a different path than it used to because of that storm.
And it became personal.
Hmm.
Um, when you work on a play, it's personal,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah, very much so.
And you know, it was incredible what you did, Gary, and I think people need to know this about both you and Lisa. Um, we had 1 week to put up a play that was and is not easy,
Yeah. Uh,
you know,
yeah.
and what you were able to do for us as a director and Lisa as a producer to bring us to a place where we were no longer rehearsing, but truly sharing this story,
Yeah.
is a testament to your creativity, your artistry, and what you do at Ensemble Stage.
Well, I appreciate that.
You know, and the thing, I'm gonna, because I thought about what I wanted to talk about, and you said to be funny. I don't know if I can be funny.
I didn't
I
say
did have,
funny.
I
If you
did,
had a, tell you what,
I
your snake,
did, I,
your snake story was great.
okay. I also have a bear story, right? I
Oh,
also have a
okay,
bear
good, good.
but and so that here's this hurricane that's unstoppable, uncontrollable by people, right? But the play that we did, the events of that play were created by people,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah,
And
exactly.
Ensemble Stage has to survive.
Hmm.
It has to survive because there's no such thing as a small theater. No such thing. And it is so crucial, right, to bring people together to share experiences before something tragic happens.
Yeah.
There's a play that's happening at Lincoln Center about AI, and I pulled it up because there was an article by the playwright in 2017. His name's Ayad Akhtar, and he starts off saying by he recently learned that a group of neuroscientists discovered that watching live theater can synchronize the heartbeats of an audience.
Yeah, yeah. And I tell that to every cast now. When in that initial, but isn't that amazing?
It is amazing. And we're living in a world where we're saying, oh, we can see everything on YouTube, we can see everything on TikTok, and what's the point of leaving our homes? And well, no, no, that is the point of leaving the
Yeah,
home.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
And that was one of the things that was funny because you mentioned that because during COVID, I know I was being pressured a little bit by by some people to do the streaming thing. And that's, if you're a theater and you did that, that's fine. That's great. That was your choice. But I just made the choice that theater is such a personal thing. It's so involving, um, that to not have that and it's not really physical contact, but being there and breathing that same air makes such a huge
Breathing
difference to me.
and
Yeah,
talking afterwards,
yeah,
whether
yeah,
you
yeah,
liked it or not, it doesn't matter.
yeah,
It, being in a room full of strangers that
yep.
suddenly are not strangers anymore because you've shared something.
Hmm.
And again, the quality of the work that you bring to this stage it was one of the best work experiences I've had in my professional career. And I've worked with some pretty in some pretty great circumstances, being on Broadway,
Yep.
working on films that were, nominated for awards at Cannes
Right.
and that sort of thing. And they
Right.
were great experiences too. But this is also a great experience because it is always goes down to about what the work is.
Yeah. It does.
Is the um, integrity behind it? What is the purpose behind it? What is the striving of excellence that is being sought after, and the truth?
Yeah, and I'm so glad you said that, because that is really, to me, as a director, that's kind of where my foundation is finding truth in what's, I never ever ever want it to feel to anybody, whether it be an audience member or a cast member. I never want it to feel like they're watching a play or they're in a play. they I want people to feel like, and it's always been my little expression, for the audience, I want them to feel more like they're eavesdropping on a life rather than watching a play. So I love the fact that you said truth, because to me that's so important, and I think sometimes that gets lost.
It does get lost, and I think that, like, in terms of what had happened in our delay process and that sort of thing, the moment I knew that that's what your foundation is, I was able to relax.
Oh, well, good.
And through being relaxed, that's when you can really start to live with the people that you're on stage, because
Hmm.
it is happening in that moment.
Yeah,
It is happening in that moment. And I wish more people were like you, more artists were like you, more directors were like you. Again, I've worked with great people, so I'm not complaining in
right,
any
right.
stretch or criticizing. I just really want to acknowledge, the importance of what you do. And we need theaters in every community. And there are places in the world where every major, semi major city has a repertory theater.
Yeah,
And children from grade school are being exposed to literature
yeah,
and thinking and politics and opinions and history, and poetry. Uh, and that's what you guys do, and you do it in on a very, very high level.
well, thank you.
I've been dying for you to cast me again. What's wrong with you? I'm sitting here like waiting and waiting and waiting for the phone to ring.
Well, I keep seeing you're always so busy. I mean, which is great. I love the fact that you're always, or at least it seems like you're always busy when I see your posts and things.
Well, I mean, I haven't been posting in a while. I am very busy, but my priority is always doing great work. And if
Yeah.
I have a chance to do some great work with you, Gary, I'm on the next flight.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
No pressure,
Yeah.
though. No pressure.
Now, let's talk a little bit on Zaglada just for a second. And and eventually the scene, we'll get to that scene, but that very last scene, where you uh, give him the pills to take to basically kill himself. tell me about that process and how you got to that point, because that was just that was so raw, and it was just such a wonderful way to close out a very powerful play. Kind of explain to people your process, how you did that.
I try to think as little as possible.
Hmm. Good for you.
Um, First of all, whatever I work on, I it has to have meaning to me.
Hmm.
So I infuse it with as much meaning as I possibly can. I try to kind of erase the lines between myself and the character,
Right.
whatever that may mean. I don't
Right.
know. And in full disclosure, when the scene was happening, I never really knew why I was doing what I needed to do. I just knew I had to.
Which is the best way to do it, frankly. The best
And,
way to do it.
and I think there's so many things in life that we do that we just, if someone says, well, why did you do that? People go into therapy for why. And my question is, why bother knowing why we did it?
Yeah. Yeah.
And we had to do it, and we couldn't do it in any other way.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that permeates the entire play.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that those actions are right or wrong. Um, just like at the very end, I never really know what I'm going to do with those pills afterwards. Thank God the
Yeah.
play's over.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
don't have to
Yeah.
find out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Exactly.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think,
And I think that was actually to me, one of the beauty, or one of the beautiful things about this play is that, I mean, I love plays where the audience leaves and it hasn't been wrapped up in a pretty little package, to where when they walk out, because I heard, and that's also how I judge that we've done a good job. And that is, by them walking out, and instead of talking about what they're going to go get to eat, or are they going to go have some dessert somewhere or have a drink, they're talking about the play. And this play, every time they walked out, I heard at least a half a dozen groups of people going out going, I wonder what did she take a pill too? And everything is like, oh God, I love this. I love the fact that they're discussing this. So to me, that's one of the geniuses of this play, is that it doesn't wrap itself up, and
and it
everybody has
doesn't,
that moment.
and it does not really have an agenda. There's
Right.
no agenda. Um, there's
It's not preachy at all.
no, no. And we really are. I mean, I've been working on this play for a long time.
There's that
Richard,
last moment right there.
Richard, wow. Um, Richard Viteri and I started working on this, I think 2017 at the
Hmm.
Actors Studio, developing it.
Right.
Through a write directing workshop,
Right.
and it got published. Then you guys picked it up, and we are still working now on developing it. Not developing the play further, but developing a production. We just got our first grant,
Hmm.
seed money grant, which is incredible. But it never gets old. I mean, I've been living with this play for a long time,
Right.
and it never gets old. It never gets tired for me. Um, Partially the language, the
Hmm.
story,
Yeah.
the importance of it, and how relevant it is to what's happening in the world every single day. And here's another thing, Gary, you had incredible foresight.
Okay.
There's
I'm
there's
trying
a
trying to figure out where you're going with this, but
then
okay.
well, no, because no, what I mean is that you aren't afraid to take material that is potentially dangerous, controversial, can be, right?
I guess I maybe my brain doesn't work that way. It's all I'm looking for is a great story that has a truth behind it.
Right, but you're
And
not afraid. That's the
no,
point.
oh no, of course not.
That's
No,
the point.
yeah, no. My biggest thing is as long as it serves. I don't care what the play has in it. I mean, I'm not. I honestly, I'm not afraid to do if there's a play that has nudity or really strong language or deals with LGBTQ things. I'm not afraid of those at all as long as they serve the play. I don't want it to be gratuitous. It needs to serve the play, and that's what I look for. And with this play, it was just truly, truly um, uh, uh, amazing. I don't know what happened with that. Where'd that go? There it is. There we go. But that's one of the things that was really cool about it. But I appreciate that. No, and I always look at people like the RCA Victrola dog with my head tilted when they go, uh, "This is so dangerous. This could be so dangerous." And I've never even considered it that way. I just considered it um, um, just a piece of wonderful, wonderful theatrical art.
It is art, it's history, it's human, and
Hmm.
that there's that silly saying, there go I but for the grace of God.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
one of the great things about plays and literature is that we can go to those places without having to have those experiences. And then somehow, hopefully, that informs our spirit.
yeah.
You know, um, I'm looking at these photographs and I'm seeing my briefcase. And I just and our cast, and it's it feels like it was yesterday, and then it feels like it was a lifetime ago.
Right. Yeah. No, I completely get that. Yep. Absolutely.
Hmm.
But so I've got to hear your bear story before we go. I have to hear this
Oh,
bear story.
so it's, people were telling us, all right, around 6 o'clock, you should stop walking on the mountains because that's when the bears come out.
Uh
And I'm like, yeah, right. So I'm walking, and I decided, all right, I'll stay close to home. And I was kind of walking in that little stretch of road between the golf course and the house we were staying in, back and
yeah.
forth, back and
Yeah.
forth, back and forth. And I was chatting on the phone with my cousin who I haven't talked to in a while. And I look at my watch and I'm like, I should probably start heading back to the house. And it was literally, I don't know, several yards away, right?
Hmm.
And I walk, and there is this beautiful, beautiful, gorgeous big black she bear right on the driveway,
Yeah.
right on the driveway. And my heart jumped. And she was just looking at me and looking at me and looking at me.
Hmm.
And I started to back away, and I
Hmm.
got myself, to the golf course.
Right.
And there was some fancy dinner happening, and I'm there like in my shorts and my whatever, like sweaty and disgusting. And
Yeah.
they're like, can we help you? I'm like, yes, 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 there's a bear on my driveway, please, please. And so they were very, very kind. And the police officer ended up driving me back to the place, to the house. And as we
uh
were driving, she stepped across the road right into kind of safety zone or whatever.
You're talking about the bear, right?
The bear,
Yeah.
yeah. And like a couple of weeks earlier, days earlier, I had seen these like like splotches on our kitchen door, like on the
Oh.
window. And, and I was like, come on, no, what is that? That looks like a bear paw, but it can't be a bear paw. And I realized that they come up right to the house,
Oh
right
yeah.
to the house,
Yeah.
and they look in the windows, and you know, they're so beautiful. I also met one of our neighbors, and she told me wonderful stories, right, about feeding the deer, which you're not supposed to
Right.
do, and the
Right.
bears and
Right.
everything. I met some beautiful people, Gary.
Hmm.
some really
We got them up
special
here.
feelings, people that I took photographs of that, when I look back at, and it just, it warms my heart, and I hope that they're safe,
Yeah,
and I hope that they're okay.
yeah,
Um, I don't know. So yeah, that was my bear story.
yeah.
I
I loved
love
it.
bears.
Yeah, I love that bear story. That was great. But I guess just to wrap things, I just want to remind everybody that the whole reason we're doing all this is to this is our streamathon version of Giving Tuesday that we're doing. So this is our Giving Tuesday. So if you're so inclined and are interested and want to support Ensemble Stage, just go to that web address that's on the screen right now, ensemblestage.ludus.com/donate. And um, uh, and believe me, no amount is too small. You want to give $1, you want to give five, you want to give 10, you want to give 5,000. Hey, we're good for all of it. So, and we appreciate every bit of it. And Maya, thank you so much for joining me here on this. I loved hearing the stories. I love talking to you about. You're such a professional and wonderful actor that can access her emotions well, which is what actors should be able to do. Um, but unfortunately, not all of them can. But you do it in spades, and so it was. I was thrilled when you agreed to come on and chat with us and talk a little bit, and really appreciate.
Gary, I'm the one who can thank you, who should be thanking you. It is an honor to be here. I wish it wasn't because of a hurricane.
Yeah,
Um, and it was an honor to work with you and to work at your theater and to be a part of your community. And I just want to make one more plug for donations. Give to the theater because the theater is necessary. It's necessary. And when we have one, we have to do everything we can to cultivate it for our own health as a community. So and and it does make money. It can't make money.
yeah.
So let's keep the
And it supports the community too. The fact that there's a theater here, there's people that come to see our shows. They go to the restaurants beforehand, and some people come in from out of town and spend the night, and so they stay the the Best Western or the Airbnbs or the B&Bs, that kind of Berry House and that kind of stuff. So it's
yes, yes, and yes.
yeah. So it's good for the community and it's good for the soul, which is what it comes down to. And I'll leave you, and I'm sure you've heard this too, that if you look at all of the in history, societies that thrived and even now cities that thrive, um, all have and attribute a degree of that success to the arts. And because again, like I said, the arts mean something, and the arts is the soul. And my stage manager, Nicole Pehan, she's got a bumper sticker that I love, and it says, "Without art, Earth is just eh." So it's like you've got the EARTH, and if you take out art, it's just eh, and that's the best way to describe it.
Yes. I hate to say goodbye to you.
Well, me too, and I wish I could talk more, but I've got to get ready for my next segment here. And
Can
but
you
thank you.
give Lisa my love? And
I will, and I will tell Richard hello because he's going to be our 12 o'clock segment.
okay,
So
good. Just so you know, I have a little message here that says you're in the show. Everyone can see and hear you. So who knows what was seen on Facebook?
yeah, that's true. That's very true. But at least,
All
as
right.
long as I could hear you, that's the big thing. And
All
but
right.
I would have loved to have seen you. But anyway, dear, thank you so much.
All right.
Appreciate
I
it.
love you guys. Thank you very
Love
much.
you too. All right.
All right.
Bye
Bye.
bye. We'll be back in a little bit, folks.